Hello?
Hey Björn.
Hey, fine. You can hear me. Hi, Keith.
Hey,
Nice. Sorry?
How are you doing today?
Oh, fine. I'm doing fine. The weather is bad as always here in Germany at this time. I'm doing fine.
Wonderful, wonderful, Björn.
What
So,
about you?
oh, I'm all good, Björn.
Doing
I'm
fine
all
also?
good.
Fine. Good to hear.
Hey, Keith.
Hi, Heiko.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, but how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
I'm good, thank you. So, guys, your new album, Kazakhstan, is out on April 7th. So, would you like to tell me a bit about the songwriting and production behind this new album?
Yes,
Yeah,
of
sure.
course. So do you want to start, Heiko?
Oh, phew. Always me.
No, I can do it.
what-
I can do it. No problem. Didn't want to be impolite.
No problem. Well, the album consists of different songs from different times when we wrote it, because we had as you know, we had a lot of time between the last album and this one, and there are some for us, let's call it brand new songs that are not older than 2 or 3 years, and there's also some rather old stuff which we've been playing for 15 years almost, and that's one of the reasons maybe why this album shows such a large range of different songs of different types: prog rock, prog metal, and also we've got a new singer compared to the last album. It's Michael, and he's got a different voice than our last singer Christian, and I think this also makes a difference how to write the songs, how to arrange them. Björn, can you add something on that?
Yeah, of course. As you might know, especially Jan, Heiko, and me, we are playing together, I think, since more than 25 years. So basically, Ricochet is a big recycling machine. So on this album, you hear it includes ideas from 25 years ago up to one year ago. So this is always. Sometimes we have cool fragments of songs, but they doesn't fit to what we're actually doing. But only 20 years later, we have exactly the good song this fragment might fit in, and so this is really this is not the only reason why it took us so long to produce this album, of course, but this is the way we work. So it's always a mixture of new ideas, but also combined with some things we experienced in the past, not only as musicians, but also as persons. We have a long history together, and we have a lot of memories we share and a lot of experiences, a lot of things we experienced in the last years. So this is always comes together when we're writing music.
Fantastic. And the album title Kazakhstan, does it has anything to do with the country Kazakhstan, or there is a concept behind this album?
As we used to say, there is a serious answer and a not so serious answer to this question. The bare truth is that when we started, when we write music, it's always the music that comes first. And so we have working titles for most of the song ideas we have. The lyrics, they come in a very late stage of the process. And so in the beginning, it started as a joke to have basically former Soviet republics as working titles for the songs. And
not for all of them, but for several ones.
Yeah, but we had Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan, whatever, and over the time we of course we replaced these working titles by real titles with real lyrics. But there was one thing that escaped. that was the song Kazakhstan, which was basically in the beginning was an instrumental song. it got vocals also in the very late stage of the process. But the title Kazakhstan, it somehow survived. And at this point, we thought, well, it's also a cool name for the album, especially if you have cover artists like we have Kai in the background, who really can work with these ideas and create visuals from it. So this is really cool. I also like the cover of the album very much, and this was of course inspired by this whole Kazakhstan topic. On the other hand, the other explanation for the name is maybe the several musical influences, like a country like Kazakhstan. It has influences from Asia, from Europe, from whatever. And this is something you might find also in our music if you listen to it. I don't know. It's up to you to decide.
Fantastic. And talking about the album, 9 mind-blowing songs, beautifully written, great songwriting, great musicianship, the melody, the progression, the power inside each and every song is totally outstanding. Thank you so much for putting up an amazing album this year. And
cool. Thank you for this nice review of it.
As a creator,
Sure.
what are your thoughts about this album? How do you feel about the outcome?
It's hard to expect what people might think of it, and thus we're very surprised, and we're positively surprised when we got such a feedback like yours, because we are so much involved in this process, and as Björn said earlier, there are some songs that are rather old, what you call a recycling machine, Ricochet, recycling machine, and thus it's hard for us to expect what people might think of it. But of course we like what we do. We love our music, and but we need this feedback from the audience to might estimate to estimate what the output really is.
Yeah, but the question is a really good question, I think, because especially as Heiko said, if you're inside the nutshell, you're sort of blind after a certain time. And I'm really curious to find out if especially the change from the last album to the recent album, what might be the reaction of the audience, because it's a bit more yeah, well, let's say a retro style. It has more 70s elements than the Zara album before. Due to the new singer, I think we had to react on this. We were also inspired, of course, by this more yeah, rock style vocalist that we have right now. And I'm really curious to find out what might be the reaction of the audience. But we're blind in a way.
And did you guys do something special on the day of the release?
You might mean a big party or something like this. No, what we're planning is of course a release party in Hamburg, in our hometown, where we of course have the largest community of people who likes this. This might be of course a concert. We're working on this right now to bring all the songs to life. It's especially if when you listen to this album, of course the production is more than just 5 people playing live. It's a larger production than we ever did. Even it was even larger than the Zara production in terms of number of tracks or something like this. So it's really a process to have live versions again. Of course, we started writing with live versions, then the big studio balloon came and the things were blown up. So and then now we have to reduce it again to make it playable for live situation. This is what we're doing right now. And of course, the thing we have in mind is of course the big release bang, and of course a few gigs after that, and after that release date. Of course, that's what we're doing.
Fantastic.
For the day of the release, we hadn't considered that it was Easter actually when the CD was released, and thus I think each of us spent the time with his family. But we met a few days later to make a small party in a restaurant.
Yeah.
A really kind of private release party.
Yeah, and it was really calm. It was without damaging any furniture or something like that.
Yeah, not too much alcohol.
Yeah.
Interesting. And any plans in coming up with a music video from this album?
Yeah, really, that was an idea to do our first video. We never did that before, and right now we're looking for ideas. Our first approach is to hire a special effect crew and fly to Namibia and do something with a lot of explosions and fire. Of course, this is not possible due to the budget we have, so we're looking for low budget ideas. I think it might take a little time, but there is something we have in mind.
What might make it a bit difficult is the best songs on the album, in my opinion, are rather long, and thus, this makes it a bit difficult to for a video. You have to shorten them, and that's not the way we want to do it. I think you can just listen to them on a whole.
Yeah. We're talking about videos, right, and not about blockbuster movies.
And you said you wanted to do a lot of live shows in support of this album, but do you have any specific festival plans for this year or early next year?
We're working on it. There's no specific that we can announce right now, but I hope we will in the near future.
Interesting. And when the band started way back in the early 90s, so how has the musical journey been for you guys so far?
Funny question. I listened to one or two of our first recordings just yesterday evening, and well, there are certain things, of course, that are completely different right now. The way of producing music, the sound you want to achieve, it's something completely different. So if I listen to our first album, Among the Elements, it's from the mid-90s. It's a sound you wouldn't do today anymore, to be clear. But on the other hand, the musical structure of the songs, the way of arranging is still something not to be ashamed for. So if I listen to it, I feel perfectly fine with what we did in the past. But that is probably the answer. The way of producing these songs would be completely different if we would do these songs again today. I don't know if that was the question. What was the question?
I think that's right. I think our current sound differs from the older stuff, but the way of songwriting and the melodies, the hooks, they are still okay.
Yeah, I think we talked about your Motorhead shirt in the beginning. So when I think of Motorhead, and maybe my first impressions I ever got from Motorhead, it was a very hard band. But nowadays, if you compare it to the things that are considered to be hard today, it's let's say normal rock band. If you see the level of hardness, so it's things change. Things change in a way. I still like them. And I'm totally convinced that when I listen to Motorhead, I drive much better when I'm driving a car. But things change, yeah, of course.
Yeah, maybe you know that if people ask, "Oh, what kind of music do you hear?" "Oh, heavy metal," and you ask, "Oh, cool. What kind of bands?" And they say, "Ah, AC/DC and Bon Jovi." You know what I mean?
That's the point.
And guys, I know there has been a lot of great moments that would have happened over the years, but is there something special that you want to share with me today?
You mean the highlights of the career?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. There's some outstanding gigs for me. It was of course when we had the honor to join the Wacken Festival here in Germany. I don't know if it's known in India. You know Wacken?
Yes, I do. Every year it happens here in India. It's Germany supports a festival here in Bangalore. Bangalore Open Air, they call it.
Yeah, exactly. So it is world famous. Meanwhile, it's a small village in the north of Germany. Nobody knew it. It was basically farmers and small houses. So, but then this thing appeared, and it went bigger and bigger. And when we played there, mid of the 90s, it was not that as big as it is today. But to be honest, right now it's gigantic. It's more 300,000 people or whatever. So, but even in the middle of the 90s, there were quite a lot of people, and maybe this is the biggest audience we ever played for. And
also the largest
to me, this was a
stage,
highlight, definitely. Huh?
We couldn't see each other without binoculars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. The stage was that big compared to the normal club size we used to play. So if some fog occurs, they're gone. So.
So hope for this year to go beyond Wacken.
Oh, I know. I don't know if the set list, the list of band is closed. We can give it a try, of course, but maybe we're too late for this year. But hope for the next year.
Fantastic. And moving forward, what would be the upcoming plans for the band?
Yeah, when we met in this restaurant, what Heiko just said, we made this we set a goal to have an album ready in 3 years. but, but then we started to laugh.
Yeah, but we promised ourselves.
Yeah, it's the plans for the near future, as I mentioned. It's being able to play this new album, especially live, and then playing live, but on the other hand, restarting the recycling machine again and doing the next songs for the next album. I don't know if it's realistic to be ready in 3 years, but well, it mustn't be 18 years again. So anything below would be a success.